Hello, doing a VOD review from Overwatch University. This one is a ball player. They're currently Silver 3, or they were a few days ago. They sent me this replay code and I was too busy to do it until now. Where are we? Ball, ball, ball. Um, Not much other information about it, so we'll just watch. Um, I don't love this stage for ball, but it's definitely playable. Um, the trouble with ball here is while you can be quite useful in this early stage, once the fight inevitably regresses to being back here, because uh, maybe you don't see it that much at silver ranks, but like platinum and above, people are like smart enough to know that like you don't actually like hold here. You might temporarily set up here to delay them, but like holding here is very disadvantageous for the defenders due to the fact that like snipers can just poke out there. The sight lines sort of favor the attackers to an extent, which is why in pro play and high level ranked play, teams will set up around here. So like you'll be holding this choke sort of thing, and then enemy teams will inevitably try and come around here and poke from here and that sort of thing. So it's like about holding those three laneways. Um, the issue with playing ball is that then that means that the action is sort of happening in this section where like there's not really any like good high ground for you to utilize. Like the highest thing here to grapple onto is that. So you're sort of like you're in a tricky position where like you don't have ledges and high grounds to utilize. It's really like plain flat open sight lines. Ball gets a lot better on the next two stages. So it's just about whether or not you can successfully get your team through this first stage, this first cap as ball, really. I'll just watch what you do in double speed and then come back if there's any like major notes. Yeah, I mean, there's already major notes. Um, so Ball's at its strongest when he comes from off angles. I've done a lot of VOD reviews for Ball. Pretty much always give this advice. Like, you don't want to run it down main. Like, this is main, right? Whenever you run it down main, the entire enemy team is looking at you. So you lose the element of surprise. You also lose, the capacity to get like sneaky damage in without them seeing you. You also run a big risk of getting focused down or crowd controlled on the way in. Now, they have a Sigma who could rock you, they have an Ana who can sleep you, they have a Bastion who can burn you down, and a Hanzo who, if he has his Storm Arrows up, can also burn you down. So there's a lot of CC on the enemy team. So for you to just roll in like that, I mean, you didn't die because it's like a silver lobby, but at high rank, like you die for that for sure. But then at a higher rank, you wouldn't do that. The other thing is you didn't slam, you just sort of like rolled in, so you hit like a couple of people for 50 damage, right? Which like isn't very impactful. 50 damage without much follow up doesn't matter. Then you try to mouse one the Hanzo, but you try and mouse one the Hanzo like with all this going on around you. Like imagine if you get slept right now. Imagine if you get rocked right now. Like you are totally isolated from your team who is still like walking out of the spawn basically. If they hit either of those cooldowns, you would be a free kill because like a sleep here, and then the Bastion shifts into turret form, start shooting you. This guy uses his storm arrow. This guy shoots you. The Ana shoots you a couple of times. Like you almost definitely die here. And if you don't die, then you get so low on health that you have to like go scrounge for like mega packs. You probably have to get this mega or maybe even the mega like around behind this wall on the other side of the second point. Like it's just like a really low value engage, right? Like what you should be aiming to do is probably come around this side, sort of just like use your third person to just scout from here without fully poking out, look at what they're setting up, and then you can go from there. So had you have done that, the Ana was up here by yourself, right? So imagine like you scout the Ana, you grapple, you fly towards her using the fireball to knock her off, and then she lands either here or down here, and then you slam her. So that's 50 damage from the fireball, and anywhere from like 40 to 80 damage probably from your slam. Like the Ana's in trouble now, right? And also that puts you in a situation where you're either slamming here or you're slamming here. And in either of those situations, like think about the sight lines that the enemy has. These players can't see you. The Hanzo could walk around and shoot you, true. Um, but these guys would have to do a big rotation and they'd have to turn their backs to your entire team to come around here and try and shoot you. Likewise with the Life Weaver, no good angle. So Just running it down main, then you're just exposing yourself. You're basically attempting a 1v5 right now, which is really like an ego thing, right? Like you can't expect to just go in and get value when you're totally by yourself. Another option would be to go around this side, like grapple here, swing around, land over here, scout from here, and then just do like a similar kind of thing where you're looking for what's happening. But yeah, I mean, either way, just don't run it down main. I mean, shit, you could even like roll up here, scout, and then look to like slam the low ground from there. That way, you've still got your grapple ready to get out if you need to. But ultimately, what we witness is you just sort of roll in, hit a couple people with a fireball, get a mega, roll out again, and then roll back in and hit a couple of people with a fireball. And to be honest, it's like you never left spawn. Like that's the level of contribution. It's just like meaningless damage. It doesn't really help your team very much. We'll go back to your point of view again. So the game's been going for a while now, and we haven't actually seen you slam anybody. It looks like you're going to get this kill because the Ana's... What? Why would you not secure that kill? Doesn't matter if you have to reload. If the Ana hasn't naded by now, then they obviously don't have nade, right? They've probably wasted it at some point. Oh, they do have nade. Okay. Even then, I reckon you could have gotten that kill. What's the nade going to give her? Like 50 health? Put her back to 110? You could have just like reloaded and kept mouse oneing and shooting her. Like that was definitely a kill for you, 100%. Yeah, target prioritization is not great, but it's good that you shifted to the Bastion then. Alright, are we going to slam? No. I wonder if you're just not confident with grapple mechanics. We still haven't seen you slam. Your slam is like your main source of damage, right? These guns are pea shooters, they're pathetic. Having said that, you definitely could have killed the Anim before, but like, it's the scoop slam combo, you know. You go in, you grapple, you fireball, you hit them with the fireball, you get some height, and then you slam. 50 damage from fireball, and I think the minimum damage that you can do with slam is like 30, and the maximum is 100. I should know this. I play a lot of ball, but I'm just in work mode at the moment. But either way, like that's your main source of damage, and then your guns and your melee are like a follow up to that damage, right? You haven't really utilized ball's kit whatsoever so far. All right, I think. Oh no, you were trying to grapple then, but you somehow didn't. Slam. Just got to aim slightly higher. Like again, that was such an easy kill. Like you needed to grapple right here on this fence post, swing around, hit the 50 damage fireball, get the height from the grapple. It'll get you to about here, and then you slam on top of her, right? Why do you turn to shoot the Hanzo when you know that there's a really low health Ana that was just right behind you? You should have chased her into the mega room. This is good. You can kill that Junkrat. Cool. Sweet. Don't walk onto the... You nearly killed yourself then. You went straight over the death trap, the mines, or whatever you call them, you know, the bombs that he drops. Luckily, you only caught splash from it, but that was still like really silly and risky. You just took like another 100 damage. Getting mega, cool. Don't wait for the mega. You don't need to get another health pack. So what you should be doing right now is already setting up. So you should have grabbed that mega, gotten a little bit of heals from your Mora suite, and then we wanna go up onto this high ground. So we can just like grapple anywhere to jump up onto the high ground, and then you come around here and you start scouting. And what you'd see straight away would be an Ana standing here, right? So you can start mouse wanting her, or if she doesn't react to you, then you can do a ledge jump. Hopefully you're confident enough to do ledge jumps where you know the tech is basically you stand here, you jump slightly to the side, and then you as you're going to the side, you push your like A key to go back, right? So A is left, D is right, and then you hit your slam. So it's like it's a ledge slam, it's a free slam. It's a really basic ball tech that you need to be able to do. You don't have to be able to do super fancy ball tech, but if you can't play this, if you can't do this ball tech, then you need to like practice it straight away. So basically, you would come up here, you would scout, you'd see the Ana. If the Ana doesn't react to you, sweet, free slam, just jump over here, slam her, that'll be almost maximum damage, and then just start mouse wanting her when she's in the air and falling back down, right? That's probably close to a free kill, not guaranteed because there is a Sigma and a Life Weaver here, but like that would at least be your like fourth attempt at an Ana kill when like the other three were already free, you know? We've missed killing the Ana a few times now. The other option, now that you are here, would be to shoot a grapple up to here and then do a scoop and slam where you fly through, you hit them with a fireball, you go up a bit, and then you slam on top of them here. I'm worried that what you're going to do is you're going to like do another low grapple and just roll straight into here, which, as I said before, is just pointless. Like it's not doing any damage. It does 50 damage. It's so meaningless. They just instantly heal it. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Not surprising because it's all you've done so far. You can't get the... So that looked like you were trying to get height for a slam, but because of the height of the door, that's impossible, yeah. So obviously like not very confident with like ball mechanics in general, right? So we still haven't seen you slam this whole game. And we haven't seen you do a grapple that gives you enough height for a slam. So yeah, like going through there, it's actually impossible. You'd actually have to like roll through. I actually don't think that you can at all, even if you grappled up here. I'm not sure if that's enough for a quick release grapple, which is another ball tech where you jump, grapple, and then instantly slam. That one's slightly harder because it requires better like input timing than the ledge jump that I was speaking about. But yeah, um, not very impactful. And I would say that definitely your like the pressure from your team is what's gotten you this far in the game. What are we going to do here? Are we going to do an actual slam? No, so we're just going to roll through again. And we don't even hit anybody that time. We probably won't watch much more of this because it really is just the same thing on repeat. I'll watch one more, maybe two more team fights. That was a absolutely meaningless minefield, even though you get a kill. It's meaningless because this fight here doesn't matter, right? All you have to do is just help your team pressure this Sig so that he either dies or falls back, and then the card is going to roll through, and then these guys are either going to die or fall back. Like this isn't a critical fight because you've already got the point. You don't want to invest a bunch of ultimates. Like this is a bad decision for them to try and fight here, especially when your spawn is so close. You don't need to invest ultimates for that. We'll watch one more fight and attack, and then I'm going to watch two fights in defense, and then we'll do a summary of like the sort of playstyle that you should be aiming to do. Alright, we're getting height this time. Nope. Alright. We won't keep watching this. I mean, obviously, like, you cancelled your height for some reason. I don't know why you're specifically not wanting to slam anybody. If you had have grappled here, gone up, and then slammed on top of these players right now, you would have gotten either one or two kills here. Like 100%. But instead, you just kind of rolled in. I don't think that you even did fireball damage, did you? No? You just kind of rolled on in there. Look at how low they are. Like, that was just like 2 free kills for you. Alright, we're gonna go to, oh my god, I just saw you slam. I mean, I saw you slam nothing, but that's funny. Cool, well, at least you got the key bound, even though there was nothing there. Oh, slam again, nice. See, that was almost good. Maybe we'll watch one more fight since you started slamming. Chase it. Ah, bro, like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that there was a tire going. My sound is too low. I was gonna say, you know that she's super low, and she basically just like faded and stood in the same position that Mora originally was. Like, could have gotten that kill, but yeah, there is a tire. You live it, cool, and you basically tank it for your team, which is good. You are not gonna go back in on 200 health, surely. What? That's just like throwing, actively throwing. Like when your health is that low and your team's not like fully committed, I would dare say that they saw you go in and so they kept committing. I mean, like there's a 250 health mega right here. There's also a 250 health mega right here and another one back there. Like you're so low, you're like standing back here on 200 health. Like just roll in here and double your health, right? By grabbing that, and your shields will also start regenerating, so you'll get an extra 100 from that as well. You just like grapple back in and roll back in, and again, like not really achieve anything the same as what we've seen for all the games so far. Let's go to defense. Cool. Good guess for when the defense round was going to start. Oh, Sigma now. Okay, cool. We'll just quickly see if I'm tipping that you're going to stay on Sig, right? Yeah. I had to guess, I'd say that your team flamed you while you were playing ball, and so you swapped. Um, One thing with that though is I would actually argue that ball is better on defense because you're already set up, and I'm going to get into what setup means now. Um, so the principles of ball are basically scout, set up, and strike. Yeatle, a well-known ball player, has a really great guide on this. So we're scouting to see where the enemy is. So let's pretend that it's the start of the defense round right now, yeah? There's two places that I usually start from. One is literally right here. They can't see you, but you can use your third person view to like see what's going on around there. And then the other one is up here. I guess if you're not confident with ball mechanics, this is a little bit harder, but what you do is you sort of like grapple this water tower during the setup phase. You land up here and you just like keep pressing like W as you roll backwards to like scout from here, right? So you're on the roof, they can't really see you very easily, and you're scouting them. So that's scouting, right? Another example that I spoke about on the attack round was when you come around here and you scout from here, or you go around here, you land around here, and you scout from here. So that's scouting, right? Scouting, you want to see where the enemy team is. All right, so you've seen where the enemy team is. You've picked a target, the Anna on the high ground, for example, or alternatively, if it's the defense round, you let them push the cart a little bit, and then you think to yourself, oh, like there's a Anna or like a Zenyatta or whatever, like standing back here, whereas the rest of the team is back there, right, or over there, right? So that's my target. So I've scouted. My setup is pretty simple. They're right below me, so I'm literally just gonna jump off the high ground, slam on top of them, start mouse wanting them, and then shooting them. And then in this case, because I didn't need to use my grapple to slam, I've still got my grapple to get out if I need to, so I can grapple and go this way. Or if I really felt ballsy, then I could like grapple here and like roll through their team to get a little bit more ult charge, and then get back to my team over here, or whatever the case may be, right? Um, but pretty much we just saw you like grapple and then just roll head first into, or face first into the enemy team, just like face tanking them as ball. So we scout, we look for the enemy team. I'll give you another example, right? So let's say you're attacking this point as ball, so the enemy team is probably holding a combination of being up here as well as down here, and the card is pushing forward. So you're coming in as ball, you're maybe just like coming around to this corner, you're scouting, you're seeing what's there. All right, what can I do? Now, if you have good enough ball tech, then it's quite easy for you to get into here. I mean, it's quite a simple grapple, but we saw that you struggle with grapples, so maybe you can't. A good thing might be to go in here and then to like sneak around here and try and like boop the people that are on this high ground off, whether you're sending them forwards this way or back that way, and then you slam them, right? But basically, like you need to scout where the enemy is, pick a target, and then go on that target. What we were seeing from you is just like rolling in and then you just shooting whoever happened to be closest to you. That's not like picking a target. That's just like autopiloting and doing whatever your brain sees first, right? So the principles again, scout, so figure out what's going on, set up, so where are you going to strike from? Because you can scout that the enemy's up there, but does that mean that you're going to then set up by like rolling down here through the enemy team and back around there? I mean, that would be a stupid way to set up, right? Because you don't run it down main, you want to come from an off angle. So, like I said, options could be going through here, options could be going through here, up the staircase around here, and then you could, if you see the Cassidy is playing from there and you've come around here, cool, well, you can like grapple this wall right here for a quick speed boost, knock him off with your fireball knockback, and then slam him on the ground, and then he's going to be standing here possibly isolated on the ground with your entire enemy team being like around this area, because in this example the card is right here, yeah. It's like pretty close to a free kill, right? But my guess is from what we saw, you would probably just like roll down here and then try and shoot whoever's on the low ground, like if they have a Sigma, but you shooting a Sigma isn't good value because like the Sigma doesn't easily lose a 1v1 to you, right? And he has two healers to pocket him, so you need to go on the squishies. So to that extent, when you're scouting, you want to figure out, what's the target that I want to go on, what's the easiest, the squishiest target that's going to either give me the highest chance of kill value, or alternatively, taking that player out of the fight, like in the case of an Anna, gives your team really good value because Anna is a huge source of healing and utility for the team. So if the Anna is distracted with you, that means the Anna isn't healing the enemy tank or the enemy DPS, thus allowing your team to put more pressure on those enemy tank and enemy DPS. And then so you've scouted, you've set up, you've come around here, you see the Cassidy's there, and then it's just a simple case of striking. So how are you going to execute it? Utilizing your cooldown. So you'd come out here, obviously, like I said, grapple, knock him off, slam him. When you slam, again in this example, I said there was probably an enemy down here. You would probably use your E when you slam because you're going to get adaptive shields from multiple people, most likely. Lets you stay in the fight a little bit longer. Other examples would be, let's say you're attacking this point here. Maybe we'll say the cart's about halfway, so it's around here. Odds are the enemy team will have sight lines covered from here, so there'll probably be people playing from around here. There may also be supports or swishies, DPS either up here or potentially around here. Most likely they would be here, and then as your team starts taking space, they would rotate, 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 and either go back to here or potentially like play from around here. So what would you be doing as ball? Like from what we saw, you would probably just roll in here, grapple around here, and then just shoot whatever's on the cart, but obviously that's not the right play. So what we'd do is we would scout, we would maybe like move up to this corner here, use our third person, see where they are. All right, we see there's a Sigma there. We see there's a Cassidy and an Ana on the high ground. So what do we want to do? We want to now set up to strike them. So how are you going to attack them? Are you going to potentially just go for a quick and easy grapple here, fling up, slam them on the top, or try and boop them off maybe? Booping them off is often more valuable than slamming them on the top because you want to deny them the high ground. If you slam them and fail to kill them, then they get to stay on the high ground. Whereas if you can like swing and knock them off onto the low ground, then it's quite a rotation for them to get back onto the high ground, right? Another option could be to go around here and sort of do the same thing from here. Like you wait until you use third person, so you're here. You wait until this thing that rotates comes over. You grapple, you fly straight across, you knock them off. And then another option could be to like do a long rotation and go like around here. And that might seem like a long way, but given how fast Wrecking Ball moves, you can get around here really, really quickly. And then once you're around here, that's an even better place to scout and strike from, right? Because the enemy tank can no longer do anything without turning his back to your team, and so therefore you get like free reign to an extent, like, and you'll probably get multiple players looking at you if you come around here. So you can either, honestly, you could just come around here and you could just mouse one whoever's there to get them to turn around, and then you could duck around here, and then they're going to be really conscious of you back there, which is fine because that means that they're not shooting the rest of your team. Otherwise, if they don't see you here, then yeah, you could just keep rolling around and then attack from here. And as I said, if they're playing from around here and you come around here and they don't know that you're there, then you can boop them down this way into your enemy team who are going to be around this area. The core principle of ball, again, scout, set up, strike. Don't run it down main. Don't just grapple into them. You majorly need to work on your ball tech as well. Like, saw you, I don't know if you're intentionally cancelling height from your grapples or not, but most of your grapples were low grapples anyway, where you're like grappling here and then just rolling into them, which is ineffective. The ideal combo, as I said, is a scoop and slam. So let's say the Orisa's playing where they are right now. So even if you did want to run it down main, which I don't strongly recommend, but even if you did, because you know your team has advantage or whatever, so what you would do is you would roll around to where I am now. You would grapple here. You would swing into them, get the 50 damage boop, then go up with your grapple, and then slam to go back down. So it's 50 damage from the boop, and then whatever, however accurate your slam is, right? Whereas just rolling in is just so much less effective. Um, we won't watch anymore, and I won't keep repeating myself. I think I'll link that guide from Yeedle in the description or in my post as well for you, so that you can have a look at that. But I'll also link one to basic ball techs as well, because I didn't see you do any kind of ball tech whatsoever. So that might be helpful for you as well. I think at this stage, it's not so much about analyzing each decision that you make and micro plays and stuff. It's literally just like the absolute like basics of playing Wrecking Ball. That's sort of what you need to work on at the moment because you're not showing any like understanding of like the core concepts of Wrecking Ball, and you're not demonstrating the ability to utilize any like Wrecking Ball techs, even the most basic ones. So those are the things to focus on first, and then once you feel like you've sort of got those things under wraps, it's probably worth coming back for another VOD review afterwards. Hopefully this helps. Good luck.